And good morning, Rogersville. We are here. It is shiny outside today.
Very shiny.
It was kind of
like a
painful.
new penny.
Am I smiling?
But we're gonna get it together, close the door, batten down the shades, and we'll be back with the Morning Waffle right after this. And we are back. Chris didn't sleep all night. So,
Good morning, Beth.
We're trying to have a good morning.
Yeah,
it is a
we
nice,
are.
crisp morning.
It is a
Beth,
great
but
morning.
These yahoos didn't sleep.
I'm
I
just
slept
tired.
okay.
I'm trying to smile.
It's okay. I'm that age where you need less sleep.
I
think.
guess.
I hope that's a thing.
I want more sleep.
I think it's a thing.
Because I know
So
my
I just need to
body's-
embrace it.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I don't need as much. Just get on with it. Deal with it.
I found that period of time where I was worried I wasn't getting enough sleep was worse than actually just like getting up and like. never mind.
You're right.
Not
That's what
worrying
I'm
about how much sleep I need.
Yeah, that's where I mess myself up. I start thinking about it.
Have you ever
I'm not
had
sleeping.
Have you ever had dreams that you can't sleep?
No.
Oh yeah, I've
Ew.
had dream where I'm dreaming
Yucko.
that I am trying to sleep and I can't sleep, and it's my dream because I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And it's just as bad as not sleeping.
Well, at about 4 a.m., I woke up and I should have just gotten out of bed at that point
you
because
should've.
I had in my dream, I had a car accident.
Oh, that's
Coming to plenty of time to stop.
Yeah.
But as I'm stopping, I hit a slick spot. It's not even the snow or anything, but I ran into the guy in front of me and to the guy next to me.
no.
And this is a dream.
Yeah.
And it was so real.
It was like Mario Kart.
Woohoo!
a red shell.
I mean, I was so angry and mad at myself. And then I woke up and I'm like, I had to tell myself,
Yeah.
that was a dream, Ballard.
Yeah.
You're okay.
That was a dream.
Because I started thinking about, oh, great, my rate's going to go up.
You're calling your insurance guy.
Wait, look, I have 5 cars on my plan, so it's a legit concern.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, my parents feel for you. I remember those conversations when they're like, you know how many people we have on this
Yeah.
auto insurance?
You do have those dreams that sometimes you wake up and you've got to take a few minutes to go, okay, that was not real.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I've heard now. I see jokes about this. My wife has never done this to me, but I've heard of guys having to pay for it if the wife has a bad
Yeah.
dream about the husband. Like
true.
she's mad at you all day, and it was just a dream.
Yeah.
It's happened to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's never happened to me.
Yeah,
That I'm aware of. That I'm aware of.
There was one I think that I had like tried to divorce her, and she was mad.
She hated you all day, all week.
Yeah, I think
It
so.
is weird. I had one of those.
Okay, now this
That's
she may
so
get.
funny.
I hope I don't get in trouble for telling this story, or
Right.
the other dream.
Hey,
might
she's
come,
not watching. It's
that's
okay.
true. She doesn't watch, but her mother does. So and her son is sitting right there.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah. Forgot that small detail.
So we used to do taekwondo all the time, and we were heavily into it. So we would go to world championships down in Little Rock, and so if you're an instructor, you get a week long of training. And some of the training you could take weapons training, and so you train with a long staff, nunchucks, and there are these things called song knot, which most people think of as kama, but they're the little sticks with look like little blades on them, like little sickles.
Oh.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
So we train with plastic ones. It's no
Sure.
big deal. But she took that course, and so for an entire day, she was down there with these weapons,
blading
things, and the instructors like he says eyes. You're taking out their eyes with the thing and all this. She dreamed that last night that she murdered somebody.
Oh no!
And that I helped her dispose of the body. Good husband, right there, right?
What a nice man.
She knows who to come to.
And then
If I ever kill a man,
oh no,
Will knows what to do. We know how to get rid of
That's
the
hilarious.
Get heavy equipment and don't dig a shallow grave. Make sure it's a deep
my
one, okay?
gosh.
Right? Have you seen the Nate Bargatze bit on that? It's so funny.
Yes.
Wood chipper in a catfish pond, man. That's the way you do that.
Oh, gross.
It's too early.
That came out of your mouth
to
way
mention
too easily.
any sort of catfish bait.
You got to be prepared for
That's
any.
right. Prepared for any and every situation.
Maybe the thing that gets
Now-
us canceled.
Now I'm enough of a lawyer to know I would never tell the real plan in public because
That's my smoke screen
I
plan.
will. So
I'm just going to avoid that at all
this
costs.
has been long enough, and I'm not gonna. I think I can tell a story. There was a guy.
We go check the records at Wildcat Rental to see if Will's ever rented a wood chipper.
There was a guy kept talking about his wife who he was unhappy with and said she's going to wind up in the pool.
Oh.
By golly, she did.
Oh, no. He killed her?
Bum, bum, bum.
Allegedly.
Been framed. Everybody heard him say that for years.
Yucko.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then it happened. And
Good morning,
it's like-
Emma. We're having a light and cheery
It's
conversation.
Halloween right
this
around the
morning.
corner.
That's
This
right,
is
it's a
right
good
up your
Halloween
alley.
topic.
Come on.
Right.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This isn't my Halloween. My Halloween's black glitter and purple witches.
Pumpkins.
It's pumpkins. Pumpkins and fun. Oh, speaking of pumpkins, we had the PTA pumpkin picnic on, you have to say it as fast as you can.
PTA pumpkin picnic.
PTA
Gosh,
pumpkin
2 hours sleep. That's
That's not good. It's
struggle.
not a good
PTA
combo.
pumpkin picnic.
And we had that on Saturday, and it was fun. Our friend Emma set up the
Vicky.
beautiful, what is that called, where you sit and take pictures there?
Photo booth.
Photo booth. So thank you, Emma.
How many hours of sleep did you get? Oh, wait,
More
you're just a
than
mom.
normal.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm just a
Never
mom.
mind,
My
yeah.
brain is just melted at all times. So that went really good. The weather was chilly. Holy moly.
Yeah.
It was a little breezy. So, but it was good. It was a good time.
We were thinking about making a sojourn down to Silver Dollar City on Sunday, but we tapped out kind of at the last minute. It was still a little kind of damp out there, a little
yes,
misty.
it was a little moist.
And there you said the word, so you're going to lose us
did.
viewers when you
Yep,
say
sorry.
that. But and then it was a little chilly, and so we opted to stay home, and we had a lot of fun. We have taken to playing a rousing round family game of Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
on,
I like it.
Sunday nights, and
familiar.
How long does it take to play a game? Can it vary?
it can
significantly?
vary anywhere from. Peter is like a grand master.
D&D
Yeah.
level or Monopoly? Well, like what? Give me a time frame.
On time
here.
frame.
In between.
Somewhere in between the two. Okay.
Actually, probably in a lot of instances shorter than a Monopoly game.
Oh.
Can be.
Can be.
Okay.
So Peter is really good at it, and you tend to just play a few rounds,
like,
and you
I
think
dabble.
everything's just fine, and then he goes, bam, 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 you're all dead.
And you're just
like,
like,
okay, game over. That's kind of how that
So
works.
if you play with somebody really good, it can be a short game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we won't get into the details because nobody wants to nerd out that bad. But I had a particularly bad game. But
a particularly bad game.
I did.
Good morning, Vicky. I don't know if we said good morning to you yet or not. But
My kind of my side tangent there was my nephew-in-law, Keaton Garrett, came by and played a game with us. He played with us.
what type
sure
of
he
energy?
made it fun.
I was going to say, what
Yeah.
type of energy does Keaton bring to
Good energy. Good energy.
Keaton's energy?
Yeah.
I like Keaton's energy. You could bottle it and sell it.
Yeah, you really could.
And sometimes you need to just kind of put a cap on it, bottle
Yeah.
it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Keaton, it's a bit much, bud.
Right there. Right? That's kind of what that is.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just
Why
kidding,
are you
Keaton.
drinking that, by the way?
Because it's tasty.
I don't know.
And to be honest, I came in kind of late and hot and didn't really have time to go down and get a cup of coffee.
Did you forget we do online ordering now? Started
that's a
yesterday.
good
Delivered?
idea.
I could have. This
That
could have
would've
worked out really well.
Yeah, it could have worked out really good. I'll remember that.
Yeah, in fact, I was asking Jordan because I heard the ding go on the square, and I was like,
Ooh.
"Oh, is that?" And he goes, "Yeah, we got online order." I was like,
Well,
"Cool,"
that's
because
good.
that was a question I was going to ask him today. Was, "Hey, how did it go Monday? Yesterday was the first day. How did it go? Like, is it easy to track?" Because that was my biggest concern. Was it you
Yeah.
have a good system for knowing when those things come? So, yeah, he said it went really well.
So
Wonderful.
does that help with the weight, I guess? Like if you're a customer.
So I think a lot of times people are like, well, it does take time to
Yeah,
go
it takes
get
time to make a
get
beverage and
latte.
it's a
craft.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a craft. We're not trying to be McDonald's or even Starbucks for that matter. I mean, we
Yeah.
want to make a good cup of coffee.
God
so
bless you.
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's awesome, especially for businesses. You know, the
Yes.
bank, the schools.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have time. School teachers don't have time
No.
on a quick little break. But if they do an online order, somebody can go pick up everybody's.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Brilliant.
Very
Anyway.
nice.
Online ordering, it's Storytime Coffee Company.
That's a great upgrade.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about
That's really good. It's very smart.
it. Yeah.
I like that. And
Anyway, what were we saying?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
coffee. Yeah, you needed some
Snacks?
energy.
yeah, snacks
Yeah,
are coming.
I came and I saw that on the table and I was like,
Yeah,
what
snacks
is
are coming.
that? Why is Will drinking a...
Well,
Code Blue,
I
I
have
don't know what
these
that's
on Amazon Auto Ship right here to the office.
What
And
what's the energy thing in
Bang.
it?
yeah, Bang energy drink. I don't know, but it
Super
Creatine. You're doing creatine.
I know.
yeah.
Will's like, I don't know what I'm drinking.
I don't know what
Are you building muscle?
every day.
Blue Raz.
Yeah, Emma. Emma.
Creatine is naturally in red meats.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I get plenty of that then.
But power lifters supplement with creatine. The key is you got to drink tons of water with it, or you're going to really mess up your kidneys.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because in my past life as a criminal defense attorney, if people would get drug tested, if they one of the ways that they would attempt to thwart a urine test is they would pound water, just like drink a
Right.
ton of water,
Right.
so that they basically peed water.
Right.
Their test, if it showed, and you said creatine, the judge that I remember always called it creatinine.
Creatine.
And I don't
Creatinine.
know which it is.
It's
Creatine.
creatine.
Creatine. Anyway, if your creatine levels were low in your drug test, you'd fail your drug test.
Because you
And so
diluted
you've
yourself
had a bunch
too
of
much.
water.
Yeah, so then they started drinking water with creatine in it in order to pee creatine water.
Here's a crazy
Golly,
idea.
that is insane.
and I guess I shouldn't have
don't-
just
you
told
Just don't do
everybody.
drugs, kids.
Yeah.
I guess
Don't
I
do
shouldn't have
drugs.
just told everybody on Facebook and the internet how to defeat a
Yeah, I guess you just
Drug
kind of
test. I bet it's already out
Don't do
there.
drugs,
I bet it's. I bet
when
you
we
can Google
moved
that.
here, like, I don't know, what was it 17 years ago back home, and I got a life insurance policy. And so they sent a nurse to the house to, do some blood work and
Oh, yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
anyway, I am like in top shape. I'm in the best shape of my life. I mean, I was running a ton. I was lifting a ton. I mean, I was in great shape. And I failed my test for getting life insurance. And I'm like, what? My bilirubin count was up. Like babies get jaundice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, except you don't turn yellow when you're an adult.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the deal. I had elevated bilirubin count, and the thing was, it was the
Too much
creatine,
creatine,
too
not
much
enough water?
creatine and protein. So I was taking too much. So my supplements for working out were
Could you like fix it and then retake?
it
the
was
thing?
super easy. I got off all that stuff and
Interesting.
milk thistle was the natural herb that I took to help kind of balance out my liver and my kidneys.
See?
Yeah.
You can try all these things.
There you go.
Too healthy for the life
Too
insurance
healthy
test.
for me.
Too healthy for, except probably it was good. I learned something like, okay,
Well, yeah.
like anything, everything's good in moderation, right?
Yes.
But Ballard doesn't know moderation.
I was going to say moderation.
Weird.
That's
Weird.
Interesting.
What
would that be
That's
about?
why I have to stay away from certain habit-forming substances because I'm an all-in kind of guy.
You're just like this.
Addicted personality.
Let's
is
go.
great.
I get that.
If a little's good,
A lot has to be better.
what can I do with a lot?
I can jump mountains.
Yeah, Solomon answered that question.
Yes,
and
he did, didn't he?
he really did.
Oh man.
Meaningless.
Tried it all for us and wrote a book about it, and nobody reads it. So
Well said. Why does my life suck? Well, there was a book you
there's a
could have
book
read.
about that. That's right.
Oh. Speaking of biblical things, so we've got some idiots doing some idiotic things.
Again?
Well, I mean they started
repeat.
this. Did it start last? Was it last weekend? Not this weekend, but the last weekend that the thing happened in Israel.
Oh,
Hamas did their thing.
Yep.
I've been learning about that because it is a very detached from it when we're not dealing with the daily horrors of it. It is interesting to learn about that part of the country because it's it's old, right? Super old. It's been here since the beginning. And so I've been reading and went to a really very good informative church service about that situation and very interesting stuff. But it's just pretty wild what just continues to go on in the world. It's crazy. People have lost their minds.
Yeah. No, what's
But nothing's new
interesting.
about this at
What's
the same
interesting is that the whole world at one point condemned what the Nazis did to the Jews.
Yep.
And now you have to be very careful reading what is out there in the news, the written press, but also everything that's on video now that gets shared, that we can glorify what Hamas is doing and demonize what Israel is doing to defend itself.
Unbelievable.
Is really unbelievable, the spin, the effort given to spin this, because here's the deal. I mean, you can go back and read, most people know this, Hamas actually has an organizational charter papers. You can go read their very purpose statement for existence.
Yeah.
And so there was this hopeful thinking in Israel over the last several years that maybe we can get along with Hamas and we can find peace. And what they discovered through these recent attacks is that, Hamas only wants to annihilate us. They want our land. This is not about, hey, let us have our little corner and we'll figure out how to get along together. It's never been about that.
No.
It is about total annihilation of the Jews. Genocide. And they want to take that land, they would say, back.
Theirs.
It's been the land of God's people, the Jews, for millennia.
Well, ever since Joshua took it.
Yeah, it was
theirs before that.
Promised to Abraham, and it was given promised to Moses, and Joshua took it. So it's.
I unfriended somebody over the weekend on Facebook because I didn't know what they were sharing. They shared a picture of a girl, which turns out was one of the concert goers, and a blurred out video. I'm like, what is this? She didn't do a link, but I clicked in comments because I thought it was like a missing person in the U.S.
Right.
No, and then in the comments, she had given a graphic description of what had happened to this woman, and then it was, my understanding, videoed on her cell phone and then put out on the internet. Do not victimize victims by watching this crap. Do not. I mean, the news coverage is one thing. I don't know if you should honestly watch that or not.
You just know it's slanted. That's what you have to.
Do not these bootleg videos that are out on the internet that is a new thing, right? In the horrors of the world, we now have people's cell phone videos ending up on YouTube. I'm sure the dark web. Of these horrible things happening to people.
I mean, if you want to see a decapitated baby, you can see that now.
You don't
we used to have that
watch
shielded,
that.
Yeah.
You don't need to share that.
You need to know it happened, but
you need to know it happened, but you don't need to watch it. Because at the end of the day, if the worst thing that ever happened to you in your entire life was viewed by millions of people, how would you feel about that?
Pretty degrading, for sure.
Again, victimizing the victim all over again. So that's my soapbox for the day. It irritated the crap out of me. It made me so mad, and I'm we're not doing that.
Maybe it probably doesn't matter, but was that post, was it just, was it prurient interest? Or was it like, I'm trying to make a point about...
Look at the horrible thing that happened to this person. Crying emoji.
Was it one of these Israel-Hamas attack things, or was it just kind of a random...
It was a specific victim in one of the concert goers that they attacked.
In Israel, one of the concert goers. Yeah.
Anybody says concert goer now, I think it's got to be some Taylor Swift thing.
No, it's not T-Swizzle. No, it was one of the concert people attending the concert that Hamas rolled into.
I would say this: people, especially with the spin of the media. People do need to understand. No, what Hamas did was disgusting.
Yeah.
And it is an act of terror against the
100%.
people. And so, again, I didn't see the post, but I do know there has been a bit of, you need to know this is what they did to people.
Yes.
What Israel is doing is defending its people and defending its land. These people came into a territory not their own and did horrific things. So I think on the other hand of that debate is people are saying, look, you need to see how awful this was. What
but you don't
Hamas
need to
did.
watch the cell phone video that the
I don't want to see it.
People
Educate me, because I don't watch the mainstream media. Are they taking a somewat pro-Hamas stand?
It is, very much so.
Really?
Yes.
Very
Shocking.
much.
We've now entered this phase.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Because when you do understand what Hamas did, there is no excuse, no sympathy.
None.
Nobody in their right mind says that's okay and that they don't deserve anything and everything Israel brings them.
No, what is happening is a demonizing of Israel, right? Because they just took that land back in the 40s anyway. It wasn't theirs to begin with. That's kind of the spin.
That's the
And so these people.
And that makes it okay to specifically target grade schools with your terror attack?
Evidently. And that's the thing, is that they're trying to say, well, Israel's been
That's not
provoking
okay.
this, doing this all along.
That's never okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
never okay. It's
That's
disgusting.
a war. We called that war crime.
Right.
Yes, and I mean these are the. It doesn't get worse than what happened.
No,
it doesn't.
You cannot do anything.
No,
anything
you
worse
can't.
than what Hamas did.
No, you can't.
And I think what triggers it all is we've got, you've got a congresswoman
Yes.
with a Palestinian flag
Next
hanging
to a pride flag, which is
next to a pride flag, which doesn't even work, right?
No.
Because Islam
The
stands
Babylon
against,
Bee had the best, which was Rashida Tlaib's Palestinian flag seen tossing the pride flag off the roof of the Capitol, which is what they do.
Which is what they do. They kill homosexuals, if you don't know.
100%. For people who don't understand that.
Radical Islam would murder
homosexuals.
And-
No,
and-
and not bat an eye at
Yeah.
it. That is part of their agenda.
every day
100%.
stuff.
So that some people, somebody told me a story about over the weekend about a student talk, and I'm not going to say who, but about a student telling another student why communism was good. What they didn't know is that student they were talking to had been adopted from a communist country.
Yeah.
Check yourself. It's called check your.
Well, I mean,
no crap before you say things.
Yeah.
We don't believe in that anymore.
Black Lives Matter, the
Yeah.
organization, came out pro-Palestinian recently.
Of course they do.
Yes.
So now just, you want to talk about getting your categories
That
mixed up,
doesn't surprise me.
right? So Black Lives Matter, but Jewish lives don't matter. Yeah. That's
Well,
this is what blows my mind, is that
It's mind blowing.
because I'm with y'all with the phrase, not the organization, Black Lives Matter,
Yeah.
and
sure.
so do
So do
Jewish
Jewish
lives.
lives.
And
But Black Lives Matter
all lives.
All lives.
is a self-described Marxist organization with a goal to disrupt the nuclear family and the Western patriarchy. So it makes sense that they would align themselves with Hamas.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Go read the documentation of these particular organizations.
Yeah,
Whether you're
it's
talking
not
about
just a spin.
BLM, or
Just
you're
read
talking
it.
about Hamas, or you're talking about Hezbollah. They will quite clearly tell you what they're all about.
Well,
Yeah. No, they're
BLM,
pretty happy
Black
to
Lives
say
Matter,
it.
you actually have to go back and find their original documents because they scrubbed their website
cleaned
of
them.
a lot of the really hateful stuff that was
Imagine
on
that.
there.
I just you got to be real careful about who you throw your hat in, and it's like it's unbelievable. And I watched a video of obviously a very liberal person who's Jewish saying, "This is not liberalism. You people need to wake up and realize this is not what you think it is."
But it is.
and it's just like
That's
oh,
exactly
my
what
gosh.
I mean, let's say it for what it is.
No. She was
There is
saying
a-
people supporting Palestine and the liberals supporting the Palestinians.
No, that makes perfect sense.
She's like, yeah. Well,
Think
I
about
understand,
conservatism. Right now, you've got so many fights, and sometimes it frustrates me.
Absolutely.
The political spectrum of the conservative side of the aisle is. We can look at the kicking out of McCarthy, right? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with all
that's
that.
very
yeah.
frustrating in one sense because it portrays, look, these people aren't unified. They don't know what they're doing. How could we elect that side of the aisle? But we actually need to see that in a positive light.
Yeah.
There are people still arguing, hey, let's not go far over here, and let's not be,
Yeah.
here's
actually
what
the
I stand
process
for.
working pretty well.
It's the process, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not selling out for a party ticket.
The reason it's
Whereas
difficult-
the left, and let me finish this thought, because what you're saying is right. The far left is driving that
Yes.
party. And so
Yeah.
when you say that actually is who they are, it's who they're becoming because the pull is so hard to the extreme. There are no moderate Democrats
So
anymore.
my friend
Yeah.
Tim Michalak just delivered a lecture Sunday at our church in one of our side classes on critical theory. And when you understand critical theory, you understand, I understand why the entire left and the liberals and the Democrats all support Hamas because it's all a victim, oppressor-oppressed mentality. Everybody has a side. If you subscribe to critical theory, there is no unity. There is no we can all come together. That does not exist in that worldview. And
No,
that
because
is,
it wants to move to a purely socialist form
well,
of government.
Ultimately, they don't know what they want. They just don't want this. And their entire worldview is based on there is an oppressive class and an oppressor class. And it used to be about economics. That's where Marx was.
Right.
They realized that didn't work, so they changed from his theory to critical, his conflict theory to critical theory, which is now this social justice, which views every personal interaction as an interaction between an oppressor and an oppressed person.
Right.
So there can never be a meeting of equals. There can never be a meeting of the minds. There can never be consensus.
There's no room for conversation.
Somebody in the room is oppressing somebody else in the room every single time from that worldview.
Yep.
And so you get it when you understand critical theory. You understand why all these people are nuts.
Yeah.
And they can't get along with anybody.
Well, and
Study it.
an interesting
Cynical Theory is the book. He's an atheist,
interesting-
but he got the book right.
An interesting thing, underlying theme that I'm seeing right now that lines up with what you're talking about critical theory is I'm here to win an argument. I'm going to come into something and I'm going to win this argument. And I'm not going to just talk to you about a subject, but we're going to argue about it, and I'm going to win, and I'm going to dominate you. And if I don't dominate you in the argument, then I'm going to do everything I can to screw up your life.
Yeah.
And this is what we've entered
Demonize
in.
you and destroy you.
I mean, that's along the same lines. It's a we can't work together and agree to disagree or work amongst each other while disagreeing. We have got to bare knuckle, box it out the whole time.
We'll coin a phrase right here on the waffle. We'll just call it social terrorism.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it
there
is,
you go.
and it's a real
That's
thing.
exactly what it is.
It's a
Social
real
terrorism.
thing.
Yeah,
and
it just came to me.
And that's
Trademark that right now. Can you get that?
Trademark that.
I can. As soon as you get some sleep, we'll,
we may revisit this.
we're all going to take a nap, and then we're going to think about it again.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
But I mean, that is true. It's like, there is a way, there's an order to things, and that order seems to be getting lost, where people just can't work together. Somebody's got to dominate the next person. And the interesting thing about that is it's lining up, in my mind, exactly with what you're talking about. So, that could be the origin, one of the origins of this. And I've said this a million times. I feel like Trump elevated this a little bit too, because he came in a level and empowered a lot of people to be very
He played the game.
He played the game.
He played their game by their rules.
100% played the game by
That's
their
what I was going to say.
rules.
You always lose because they're the ones writing the rules. So I can't win this argument because you've already stacked it against me.
Yeah. And like Trump could have had all the best ideas in the world, and the approach and delivery took it to a level that made it unable for a lot of people to process and accept.
But he won the election.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It just
if he did or not.
wasn't. It wasn't
I
the
don't
method
know.
to win the second election.
By the way,
Yeah.
did you guys see what Florida has done, what DeSantis did?
He flew planes over there.
So
That's what you do.
yeah, so I mean, talk about leadership here by DeSantis. I know everybody has their opinions on this guy, but anyway, let me stay on point. Biden basically said, "Hey, we got these Americans out of Israel. We got them to Greece. So it's up to them. They can pay
because Greece is a
paragon. They can
of
get themselves home
safety.
from there." And basically, DeSantis said, "We're not doing that to our own."
Yeah.
And Florida paid for these people to get home.
That's awesome. It's wonderful.
The way it should be done.
Yeah, 100%. Be like,
Yeah.
we can take care of our
If
people.
if I'm happy about paying taxes, it's that if I'm in a foreign country and I need some help, somebody's coming to get me.
Yeah.
That's what my taxes are for.
I would
Yeah.
hope so.
That's what I'm paying. That's what I want to pay
And
for.
As a report, the retired professor, Dr. Wade Nunley, he was at CBC and then Evangel. He's the one that led the trip to Israel that I went on almost a year ago now. He and his wife and their team, a couple of friends, were able to return home Saturday night. They made it back. I was texting with him yesterday quite a bit. But that's a great story in and of itself. I mean, they lived there for many years. When he was studying at Jerusalem College, he speaks both biblical Hebrew, reads biblical Hebrew and speaks modern day Hebrew. So they're very much at home there. So when they got there, they knew something was going on, but they couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah.
When they first landed, they're like, something's not right here. And then they started learning, and their friends started filling them in on what was going on. They had the resources. They had the relationship, so they were immediately working on how we can get out of the country.
Yeah.
But can you imagine being a tourist there?
Oh my gosh.
And not having those connections and trying to figure out how to get home? That would be, that'd be freaky.
That would be terrifying.
So but they were able to get home Sunday night. They were able to kind of work through that. But what a crazy story.
We're contemplating an Israel trip in June of 2025, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, and we were getting ready to have a meeting with the Nunleys to put a date on the calendar for another group from Story going in 2025. But again, yeah, we're kind of on.
Gonna wait and see.
Kind of wait. It's really hard to sell that. Like I was going to make an announcement, like, "Hey, who wants to go to Israel in 2025? Meet me after."
Like what are we taking with us when we go? Yeah. Well,
I do hope that they can find some peace here relatively soon. And because it hits me on a different level having just been there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm not just thinking about the geopolitical aspects of it, but I'm thinking about people that we actually met there. The tourism industry was completely shut down from 2020 on until literally we were some of the first groups that went last fall.
Yeah.
So think about that. They were just getting their jobs back, just getting back to life, and now that's on hold again.
Yep.
I mean, just that's a lot of people. That country lives a lot off of tourism.
Sure.
There's a huge sector of their population that lives off of it. So, yeah, anyway, it hits me hard just seeing the faces and the names and having spoken to some of these people and gotten to know them.
Yeah.
My heart goes out.
Well,
We've got it pretty good in the middle of the country.
Oh, we got it great here. You know?
Oh, I know.
And
But
people
yet we
and the
gotta make
problem
up
is
some
people
problems.
keep figuring it out, moving here.
I know, right?
People keep figuring out. Oh, man.
It's good the way it is.
Well, you know,
Don't mess with it.
I thought it was good to talk about this subject because a lot of people are, I think, watching what's going on, and some people are ignoring what's going on. But I mean, it's good to have discussions about it, and especially people who've recently, traveled there, because I mean, these events are a big deal. And I mean, I think I've even seen, some concerns about, will something happen in the States because they believe all this money that went to Iran went to possibly fund this, I think is.
Of course it did.
Of course it did. We all know that it comes from us at the end of the day.
Iran is Hamas.
Yeah.
Well, and then pastorally, I have to help a lot of people sort out because of their bad eschatology. There's a lot of Christians living in fear.
yeah.
Like, is this the end of the world? And, first of all, if you're a Christian living in fear of the end of the world, you need to read the Bible.
When you think about that.
We're going to be okay if you're in Christ. But there's a lot of fear. I see people sharing different bits of scripture, and I'm like, you don't need to be afraid right now.
Yeah.
So concerned, yes, but don't live in fear of
I
your
was
life.
just my every time I see something about that, I have a little meme that I will occasionally post. Not this time because it's a little touchy, but it's basically the difference between a dispensationalist and a Calvinist. Seeing stuff like this happen, and dispensationalists all, it's the end of the world. And the Calvinist like, yeah, okay, we know it's happening. We know it's in control. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
So
My dad shared this quote with me a couple weeks ago. He said, I love the idea of sleeping like an Arminian, evangelism like an Arminian, sleeping like a Calvinist.
sleep like Calvinists, work like an Armenian.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. That's a good phrase. Yeah. Sleep like a Calvinist, work like an Armenian.
So, soccer team's still doing awesome.
Yeah, come out tonight. JV plays a half of a game at 4:30.
Okay.
And then after that, the varsity will play its senior night.
Very nice.
And so we are 18-0.
So incredible.
Incredible what these guys are doing. So proud of them. Tonight will be fun. My boys, Rylan and Sage, who play college soccer at Evangel, the Chain Gang asked them to do the broadcast. So they're going to be on air, calling the game.
That's fun.
So that'll be a good time for them, and hopefully anybody listening on. So, but yeah, either watch online or come out. We'd love to have you guys celebrate. We have an awesome group of 5 seniors that are leading really well.
Okay,
Super
That's
proud
cool.
of these
We'll
guys.
forgive you once.
We'll forgive you, Sean, for being late.
Yeah,
One
no
time.
doubt. So.
Don't let it happen again.
Yeah, so we play tonight at home, Wildcat Stadium. Varsity games should start, around 5:15.
I like when their games start because I haven't been able to go yet it's like we can't go to as many volleyball games as we'd like to go to because they get over late. And it's hard to get the kids, there's enough going on in the world. It's cool.
One more thing about the soccer team. It was fun to see, Stuart McDonald kicks for the football team too.
Yeah.
And had an unbelievable night. We fell just short Friday night with the football team. They almost beat Reed Spring, but he had 2 field goals and an extra point. And his first field goal was a 42-yarder into a stiff west wind.
Holy moly.
Dang.
Like, I think if I heard the story right, Talbot was like, nah, we're not, it's too much. And one of the other coaches said, no, he can hit it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the wind is. And it was awesome. The kid is kicking the kickoffs. He's almost putting through the field goal post. He hit one off the bottom of the bar.
Holy moly.
That's too far.
It's insane. Yeah, but it means they never get to return it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was sitting there with my wife watching Friday night. We were winning
like
at one
these
point. And I said,
t-shirts.
"Hey, look, our undefeated soccer team's about to win a football game for us too." And that's not a
Maybe,
dig.
Beth.
That's not
Maybe,
a dig
Beth.
at the football team. I was just like
That's
pure
hilarious.
pride from a soccer coach
That's
and proud
awesome.
of Stuart.
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, his leg needs to be insured.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a great dilemma for a young man to go, I don't know if I want to play college football or college soccer.
Yeah, that's
so
a
he
good-
has both options.
yeah,
so,
that's pretty incredible.
Proud of Stu, proud of all of these young men. It's just been a fun season, and
That's cool.
long may it last.
I would think
may we
that,
keep going.
Yeah.
I would
Yes.
think that the long-term prospects would be along the lines of football pays better, but soccer lives longer.
100%. You know, and that's where he's got to decide. As a business decision, it would make a lot of sense to go play football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a life decision, soccer is going to keep you healthier.
Yeah, but as a kicker, he could probably be fine. And I've told him,
guess it's true.
you could play soccer the rest of your life. If you want to go play football for 4 years and pay for your college, even
Yeah.
at a D2 level, you could get most of it paid for, whereas there's just not that much money in soccer.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay the bills for universities.
tricky.
So he'll make his decision, and whatever he does, it'll be fun.
Well, hopefully he doesn't waffle too much
Yeah,
on
that's
that
right.
decision.
I love that. Love that.
Nice.
Nice segue to an ending.
And we're going to land the plane right now. Thanks for watching us, and we'll be back next week with more Morning Waffle.